This is a video of when we first got our TPU filament back in March of 2025. I videoed setting up the printer settings, printing a Benchy, and then printing one of our molds. I did another video of one of our molds just the other day, and I found this video that I had never edited and uploaded. So here's this video, and then I'll also have a second video of one of our actual jobs that we sell.
I just got a roll of TPU flexible filament from Matter Hackers, and I watched a video that I had come upon and just trying to see some of the settings that people are using. I'm not really going to do too much in the way of testing here. I just heated the printer up and I loaded the filament in, and it loaded. I'm going to do a first layer calibration. So I'm choosing the flex filament from the preset settings. I'm going to change the bed temperature to 60, which seems like that's a setting that the person I was watching, they had theirs set at 60. The temperature on the roll is saying 40 to 60. I have the temperature of the nozzle to 240, and that was the automatic setting. Alright, so there we go. And I'll wipe the bottom off here. I always wipe the nozzle off. My scraper. We'll see if this comes off now. Alright, it did start to come off. I didn't change the Z. I just let it be on whatever it was on. Okay, so alright, wasn't too bad. It looks okay. There's no spaces, it's not splitting. So I'm going to go with that. I decided to do a Benchy. So far it looks like it's doing pretty well. I don't see any weird things happening. The sides are smooth. We've got probably about an hour and 45 minutes left. Oh, an hour and 38 minutes. So I'll check back when it's done, and we'll see what we end up with.
4 days later.
Alright, Benchy just finished, and I see some stringing. That this is just the last piece that went over. A little bit of stringing in the inside there, in the front here. Looks pretty good from here. I'm going to try to take it off the platter. Okay, so it's really stuck on there. I'm going to take it off and let it cool. Kind of a hint, if you want to cool your plate quicker, set it down onto a table, a glass or wooden or some sort of smooth surface to absorb the heat, and it absorbs it pretty quickly. You can really see the lines on the plate from the first level calibration. I don't feel them. You can see them though. I don't know if that ruins the plate or not. I don't think that's going to work because it's so flexible. I'm wondering if I should use a textured plate. Wow, there we go. Alright, the image is really on there. You can see it's all over the plate there. I don't know if that's going to show up on other prints. So I may have to either use this plate for the TPU only, or maybe use the textured one. I'll have some experimenting to do. But overall, this looks pretty good. Even the bridging looks pretty good. There's a little bit of roughness here. The bridging of the small window in the back is a little bit, there's a little gap there. Doorway is not too bad, but there's some little bumps on the building part here. But the sides don't look too bad. So it's not bad for the first print. I'm going to start printing one of our molds and see how that looks in the morning. We'll see what the next print looks like. I started the first of our own print jobs, and I was playing with the settings. I already had the temperatures set for the bed and the nozzle. Using 220 on the nozzle and 60 on the bed. I put glue down. I forgot that if you're going to change the plate, you're going to have to calibrate it, the printer for the plate. So I thought I'll just print on the smooth plate, and I'll put glue down so that there's something between the print and the plate. Hopefully that'll allow it to release easier. Not sure, but that's what I read. I have the fan at 50, and I did put the flow from 95 down to 30. I'm not sure what the number is, if that's millimeters per second or if that's a percentage. So it did have an area of very thin printing where you can actually see the plate between the rows. I'm just going to leave it go, and it's not going to affect anything for actually for the test purposes of this print. But I put it back up to, I think, 110. Let's see here. Yeah, I put it to 110 because one guy I was watching said he was using a flow rate of 110%. So I'm not sure of the terminologies. There's not a lot of different places to set things on the screen here. There are a lot in the slicer, but I'm just not sure which settings do what. So I'm just going to let this go. I wrote these settings down. We'll see what happens with this print, and I'm sure we're going to have to print many other ones until we get settled on what looks the best and works the best for our purposes. Final product. Overall looks pretty good. As I said, I put a glue stick on the plate to hopefully make it release easier. I already took it off. I forgot to film it, but it did come off pretty easy. The plate was completely cool. Of course, flexing the plate doesn't make any difference because this is flexible, but I wiggled it and it just kind of popped off. Way easier than the boat, and that had such a small footprint. So I think the glue is the way to go if you're going to use the smooth plate, but I'm going to try the textured plate. So here's that spot where I changed the flow rate, and it went down to 30, but it's not, you can see it, but it's just a little texture there now. Put that away for today, mess around with it more on the weekend.